Here's more wrestling news for June 16th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include Kofi Kingston Hell in a Cell plans are revealed. Shahid Khan didn't think AEW was a good idea. WWE veteran's daughter is training with Cody Rhodes, hopes she's the next Gail Kim. Bruce Prichard reveals an Unheard backstage fight involving The Rock. Everrise recently signed new contracts with WWE. Dark Side of the Ring producers on what Jake Roberts wanted to accomplish with episode on Grizzly Smith. WWE making plans to improve quality of their programming by end of 2021. New pro wrestling company already dead after Andrade and more cancel. Paul Wight's AEW ring gear possibly revealed, and more. We're starting today with Hell in a Cell, and whilst WWE Champion Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre will do all they can this Sunday to leave the cell as champion, it may be a different superstar who makes the difference. In the past few weeks on Raw, MVP has been confronting Kofi Kingston regarding his fall from the world title picture, and it appears that the Hurt Business founder has gotten into the head of the New Day star. Whilst WWE are more than capable and would do better by telling a longer story with MVP, Kingston, and Xavier Woods, it's just as capable of giving a shocking Kofi heel turn away at the first opportunity. A Kingston heel turn makes a lot of sense, as he's yet to receive a WWE Championship opportunity since his 9-second loss to Brock Lesnar in October 2019, and despite holding a victory over Bobby Lashley, had to face Drew McIntyre to get a title opportunity in a #1 contenders match McIntyre would win. Instead of Kofi facing Lashley, it'll now be the man who has 2 pay-per-view losses to the Almighty instead, and this frustration could boil over at Hell in a Cell thanks to MVP. This could explain why the New Day faced RK Bro on Raw instead of the pay-per-view, a match where Kingston added another loss to his record. As to how Kofi's heel turn would happen, he could emerge from under the ring and attack McIntyre, allowing Lashley to retain. And whether the newly heel-turned Kingston would go all in and join the Hurt Business or just feud with McIntyre on his own, a heel turn this Sunday would be interesting to see. AEW news next, and since its 2019 inception, the company has strived to be an alternative to WWE and has mostly succeeded. In the past 2 years, AEW has taken the world by storm by being a genuine form of competition for WWE, and it was certainly a risky endeavor for Tony Khan. Speaking to Forbes recently, Tony's father, billionaire Shahid Khan, discussed AEW, adding that he didn't like his son's idea for a new promotion at first. "I absolutely didn't think this was a good idea, but I told Tony, look, when I'm dead and gone, I'm going to be leaving you and your sister a lot of money. Why don't you blow some of that while I'm alive?" It's reported that Shahid gave his son a $100 million investment in the company, which Tony has turned into a huge success over the world. Just last year, AEW received $43.75 million in rights fees from Turner, and whilst AEW has plenty of room for improvement, they're definitely on the right path, with Shahid's investment certainly paying dividends. We've got some sad news now, as former TNA on-air talent Don West has been diagnosed with a brain lymphoma. West's radio show, The Don West Show in Washington State, has been on hiatus lately, and on News Radio 560 KPQ's site, West posted a letter breaking the bad news, adding that he'll begin immediate treatment. West worked for TNA from 2002 to 2012 before a brief return in 2017, and much like WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett, we too would like to offer our best wishes to Don at this time. Now, Earl Hebner is arguably the most famous referee in wrestling thanks to his hand in the Montreal Screwjob, and now his daughter is entering the ring too. Speaking during a Q&A with Pro Wrestling Junkies, Earl revealed the news about his daughter Katie, saying, "I wanted my son in the business, I don't want my daughter in the business. She's at AEW training with Cody, and Cody is giving her so much help it's unreal. Hopefully, she can be the next Gail Kim." Hebner most recently worked in AEW, but hasn't been around in over a year, whilst his son Brian recently officiated the title-for-title match between Kenny Omega and Rich Swann at Impact's Rebellion event. We'll have to see how Katie fares in the ring, as she enters the industry as a wrestler, not a referee. We're heading back in time, as in 1997, Ahmed Johnson was pushed as a top guy for a brief period of time, but his career was derailed by injuries and backstage heat. Speaking on his Something to Wrestle With podcast, Bruce Prichard discussed the former Intercontinental Champion and recalled a fight he had backstage with D'Lo Brown. The story goes that Johnson was cutting promos on people in the backstage and mocked Brown for previously being a certified public accountant, leading to D'Lo throwing out the challenge for a fight. Prichard explained that from all accounts, Johnson regretted accepting the challenge, noting that Brown is, quote, a double tough son of a bitch. He also discussed another time when Johnson was complaining backstage, and when he was confronted by The Rock, Ahmed quickly backed down. Though Johnson was a specimen in the ring, his backstage attitude got him a ton of heat, and if Prichard is to be believed, the former WWE superstar was nothing but all talk behind the curtain. NXT news now, as Everrise has become a recurring act on the Gold brand, and now Chase Parker and Matt Martell are here to stay. As reported by Fightful, the team recently signed WWE contracts, which were offered to them months ago, and though they haven't competed since the April 30th edition of 205 Live, fans can expect to see more of them, with the pair facing Hit Row Records on next week's NXT. Recently, Vice's Dark Side of the Ring covered the life of Grizzly Smith, the patriarch of the wrestling family that includes Jake Roberts, Sam Houston, and Rockin' Robin. Perhaps the darkest episode in the show's history, the episode was produced by Evan Husney and Jason Eisner, who discussed on ad-free shows how the episode came together. Husney explained that he was contacted by Jake's daughter Cody, who told him that the Hall of Famer is a huge fan of their work, which led to a conversation with the Snake Man himself. Jake was all about it if it could be under the guise of helping people and trying to really be inspirational in that way. That was the genesis of it. He then talked to his siblings, whom he's not that close to today. Eisner also brought up The Rock, who reached out to him, revealing that the Great One was deeply affected by the Grizzly Smith episode, adding that the Brahma Bull felt the episode could help people going through similar things as the Smith family. Grizzly Smith may not have been massively known before Dark Side of the Ring, but he definitely is now, as the story of the Smith family has had an effect on a ton of people, including the People's Champion. Back to WWE, and for the past year or two, the company has been in a ratings slump, one that Vince McMahon hopes will end when fans return next month. After over a year without a live crowd, WWE is doing all they can to make their upcoming 25-city tour a success, and there's a lot of long-term plans in the works. That's according to Andrew Zarian of the Mat Men Pro Wrestling podcast, who explained that he's been hearing a lot of exciting things from WWE, and though it's too early to explain, he's hopeful that fans will see a turnaround in quality by the end of the year. 2020 was certainly a difficult year for WWE, as they boasted record profits but lost a lot of goodwill with fans thanks to the April 15th releases, and it sounds like the company is aware of the issues they presently face and are making plans to turn things around very soon. What would you do to turn things around in WWE? Let us know in the comments. We are heading to Mexico next, as Federación Wrestling was set to make their debut on June 19th, but that show has now been postponed. The show was meant to feature Andrade El Idolo and Rush, who have pulled out of the show, and on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer said the company is dead. Meltzer explained that the economics of the show made no sense, as they were booking stars for $10,000 and the gate wouldn't be able to cover it. Adding that nobody buys pay-per-views in Mexico, Meltzer said they could have gotten a small number of buys in the US, but it wouldn't have been enough to make the show profitable. Andrade said that he pulled out of the show because they couldn't reach a good business decision, and it's interesting that the company didn't have Andrade already locked in just days before the show he was advertised for. Time will tell if Federación Wrestling gives it another try down the line, but it won't be happening anytime soon. More from WWE, and next month, fans should expect the return of John Cena, who hasn't appeared in WWE in over a year. After missing WrestleMania 37 due to his commitments to filming the Peacemaker series for HBO Max, Cena is expected to return soon and challenge Universal Champion Roman Reigns at SummerSlam on August 21st. Despite these rumors, both Cena and Reigns have been silent on their match, but this week, Cena revealed he will be returning to WWE. Speaking to Chris Van Vliet, Cena was asked about if he'll don his wrestling jorts again and responded saying, "I can tell you this, I very much look forward to wearing jorts again. It's been too long." When asked directly if his return is a matter of when, not if, Cena said that is absolutely the case, confirming his return. It's interesting that Cena discussed his trademark jorts, as there's been reports that he'll be returning as a heel, with an outfit designed years ago for a heel turn that never took place, but whatever he's wearing, fans now know for a fact Big Match John is coming back. And we're ending today with AEW's Paul Wight, who despite being a commentator for AEW Dark Elevation and a company ambassador, will also be competing in the ring. In the latest edition of Forbes, readers got a chance to see Wight's new ring gear, and his gear seems different to what fans were used to during his WWE tenure. Wight has yet to wrestle for AEW, but has expressed interest in facing Shaquille O'Neal, a match that was teased but never happened in WWE, and time will tell whether that match finally happens. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.